Mend with me. How to use the satin stitch for visible mending. Hi, my name's Lauren. I teach visible mending, and today I want to show you how you can use one simple hand embroidery stitch for visible mending. You're going to need thread, scissors, needle, and a fabric pen. You'll also want one piece of junk mail, a business card, something a little sturdy. I'm going to show you how to replicate the stitching on my favorite denim jacket. I did this like 5 years ago, I swear. And I did it exactly like this. But basically I just used the corner, cut it off. I'm a work smarter, not harder kind of gal. So if I can use a template or trace, I will do that every single time. Now that our pattern has been transferred, we're gonna go ahead and start embroidering. I am using variegated sashiko thread. You can also use variegated embroidery floss or any solid colored thread. It really doesn't matter. But the easiest way to get that gradient color melt up and down the edge of your jacket is to use variegated floss. Again, we're working smarter, not harder. If you did want to see a different color melt, you could embroider every single triangle in a different color. The technique would be the same, just a little bit more switching out of the thread. To begin, I am tying a knot at one end of the thread and the other end is going through the eye of the needle, leaving about a 3-inch tail. We are using the satin stitch for this project, and the satin stitch is essentially one straight stitch right next to another, right next to another, and all together you wind up filling an entire area. To finish off each individual thread, you can tie a knot. I wound up just pushing the needle in between both layers of fabric back through some of my embroidery and snipped away the excess. This way I don't have 2 sets of knots per strand, just making a mess in the back. This probably took me about an hour and a half to complete. This stitch is really easy to accomplish. We're wrapping our thread around the raw edge of the jacket, and this is what's actually preventing it from fraying further. One last little tip I have for you is to use a fine-tipped fabric marking tool. If you have markers that tend to bleed and you have a thick line to work off of, it tends to be a little difficult to get a nice crisp line. And this is the final look. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you on the next.